A former champion returns at a WWE NXT taping. A WWE star has suffered an injury. And a former WWE star has debuted at an AEW taping. Find out all the deets in a bit. So we're going to kick things off with some spoilers. So you just skip ahead if you don't want to hear what's coming next. But it concerns NXT. It concerns the NXT taping because NXT have recorded block tapings for the next 2 weeks of programming, right? And a big return that occurred at the show. And have you moved on now if you don't want the spoiler? Okay, done. It's Ilya Dragunov. Ilya Dragunov made a surprise appearance at last night's NXT taping, returning in a segment featuring NXT champion Bron Breakker and JD McDonough. So I think... I mean, Ilya's somebody who I'm not surprised to see, coming back and being put straight into a position like that. He's a machine.
He absolutely is. I mean, he was the NXT UK champion and dropped it due to what I think eventually came out to be, it was a kayfabe injury.
Right.
So it actually wasn't like a full one. So we're all like, okay, where's this going now? Is he going to go over to America and be a part of the American roster full time? This very much looks like it's going to happen. We've seen the rebranding recently as well from NXT 2.0 with all the colors. It looks like it's going to go sort of a bit more black and gold again.
White and gold.
White and gold this time, So
like Shawn Michaels' entrance gear.
What I think we're going to see, obviously, I think with Dragunov and the style that he wrestles to, I feel like we're going to see sort of the classic black and gold, or at least the peak black and gold stuff that I think we all know and love, crossed with all the character development and all these gimmicks that we see in NXT 2.0 too. And I think all of that is just going to mesh together, and that necessarily isn't going to be a bad thing either. I think it's the best of both worlds almost.
I think there's good and bad things about both because it's going to be one of those things where it's a bit like Marmite, the change in NXT. People are either really for it or really against it, and a lot of people just kind of sit in the middle. NXT Black and Gold, you got to admit, it was unbelievable, but it did sort of start to run a little bit dry and a little bit stale. And then NXT 2.0, while nobody kind of asked for it, it just sort of popped up, and it was a very big change. I think in a way it's been more entertaining than the last days of NXT Black and Gold. So if there's a way to combine both of those elements into one package and move it forward, then I think I'm all for it. But
I agree.
In terms of more developments over at NXT concerning the rebranding aspect, is that NXT takeovers are making a return. The big world's back. Takeover's back.
No.
I'm not very surprised by this at all.
No, me neither. Especially not recently with all the changes that Trips has been doing.
It seems like let's just dial that back. Let's just dial that back. Let's just dial this back just to how I like it.
Just a tiny bit.
Just there. But it's going to start with Halloween Havoc on Sunday, October 22nd.
Sorry, that's Saturday, October.
It's
on a Saturday,
Oops, sorry. Brian Alvarez reported on Wednesday's Wrestling Observer that the upcoming NXT Halloween Havoc is going to be branded as a takeover. So Alvarez is saying it tends to be pretty, bob on. WWE teased the return of, as we were talking about as well, of the black and gold brand with that white and gold element. So it's going to be an exciting show to tune in for, I think, because it could potentially be just one of those ones where it fades up and the entire place looks different. There's new branding, and they're just going to kind of roll right over.
Bron Breakker's there, just like he's got like the plaster. He's trying to fix the logo that he broke in half. Bless him.
Let's get Cody down with the hammer. So we've had the previous two NXT Halloween Havocs as well, broadcast on TV rather than premium live events. So I think Halloween Havoc's just always one of those fun shows, isn't it? It's one of those ones where, especially when you have the spin the wheel element.
You have the host. We had
it
Dexter
feels
Lumis
different
in the past.
to a lot of the other outputs. So I'm happy it's sticking around. And
me too. I think
the gravitas of that takeover name again.
Absolutely. I think having a takeover is a great thing because then you really get to showcase your talent a little bit more. It's not that like the specials on TV weren't a bad thing because they're great, and then they can also not that they were competing, but then they can come. I know, exactly right. But then it was a good way to compete with the special shows that AEW were putting on Wednesdays as well.
More like shows on TV it just, it's just more wrestling that people are able to see without having to pay the additional fee. So people who maybe can't afford the network are going to be able to at least see something great.
Yeah.
But keeping it with NXT and moving on to some rather concerning news.
Well, Ross is going to be well upset about this.
Ross is going to be really upset. But it concerns NXT star Tony D'Angelo at last night's tapings. He sustained some sort of injury, according to WrestlingNews.co. They added that there's conflicting information regarding the specifics of the injury, as some people are claiming that he hit his head, while others are saying that he suffered a knee injury. Now, you might be going, well, how do you know he was even really injured at all?
Yeah.
Well, the match was stopped. So the match was stopped and he was tended to by trainers, and then there was no word, obviously, following this on the severity of the injury. WWE does tend to get reports out there, compared to AEW, who tend to be quite reserved with their injury stuff. WWE tends to list it. So I imagine if there is going to be an update concerning Tony D'Angelo, it will be probably today or tomorrow, maybe.
Yeah, I assume so. I wonder if, obviously, with these being tapings, I wonder if it's really serious, they cut the segment out or they leave it in.
Yeah, I guess if it's something minor, maybe they could spin it into something storyline wise. So it's one to definitely watch out for.
Definitely.
But he's somebody who, fingers crossed, it's not something where he's going to be taken out in a way where he can't appear, because even if he can appear without having to wrestle, he is just absolute value. He is just absolute value.
His character is so good. Hopefully this isn't really serious, and perhaps we could, as you were saying, see something where, because he's like the gangster, he's like the mob boss kind of person. He could send people off to go and do his jobs for him.
Like a week by week. Do you remember, have you ever seen Fuji Vice?
No.
Right. Well, I just want Tony D'Angelo to have a series of cutaways that basically makes his own episode of The Sopranos.
Oh.
Like week by week.
Yeah.
I think that would just be golden.
That would be really cool.
I really want to see it. And if he's injured and he can't wrestle, give him The Sopranos.
God
damn it.
He's such a
D'Angelos.
Oh my God.
If they pay Alabama 3, get the theme. Oh.
He's such a fun character that hopefully, and fingers crossed it isn't a serious injury, they can hopefully build off something where he is still on TV. And like we've seen like Sami Zayn before, when he's been injured, he still manages to do stuff on TV, which is really good.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Hopefully the severity isn't severe.
Yeah, and we're sending our best wishes to Tony D'Angelo right now. Now, moving over to the other side of the fence, just to wrap things up on this one, we're going over to AEW, where a former WWE star made their debut. So this is more spoilers, again, because it's taping news, so... You've had plenty of time to click off now. Former WWE star Mascara Dorada, aka Grand Metalik, debuted at AEW Dark Elevations taping prior to last night's Dynamite. He beat Serpentico, accompanied by Luther, in the penultimate match of the taping. Dorada, alongside Lince Dorado, requested their WWE release, and it was ultimately granted on November 4th of last year. And I believe I saw something from Lince Dorado on Twitter saying that he won't be taking bookings through the next year.
Oh, okay.
But I might be completely wrong there. So take that with a pinch of salt and check his Twitter yourself, please. I don't want to be... I'm not starting any rumors. I saw something. I'm not starting any rumors. But this is Mascara Dorada AEW feels like a more natural fit. They seem to have more of an appreciation for the traditional lucha style. And it's something where we see quite a lot of talent exchange going on there between AEW and AAA and stuff as well in Mexico. So I think AEW maybe has a bit of a better finger on the pulse of the Mexican audience in America that might be wanting to watch somebody like Mascara Dorada.
Yeah, definitely. I think like you were saying, it's a really good fit, and there's so many good matches you could have in there as well.
He's somebody who kind of just didn't get really utilized at all, and it would annoy the hell out of me because I was covering 205 Live, and often they were just sort of thrown into squashes, and it was the same 5 matches over and over again, but there were just moments of brilliance whenever it was Lucha House Party, where there'd just be, you knew they probably weren't going to win, but there'd just be some really cool, like nice flowing technical stuff going on. And it would just sort of, it was like glimpses of what you could have had if they just got behind them a bit more. So fingers crossed AEW are able to do that.
Who doesn't want to see the Lucha House Party versus the Lucha Brothers, right?
Oh, yeah.
People
just the
want to
entire
see
audience
that.
just giving it the Lucha, unironically.
Hey, I'd be down for that. So.
Well, either way, thank you very much for tuning in. We will be back later if there is any more news that breaks throughout the day. I'll be on stream from 6 o'clock tonight. I need to find a Switch caddy and a plug, and I might play Breath of the Wild if I can find those two things. So if not, I don't know what I'll be doing. So I'll catch you all later at 6 if you're tuning in. But other than that, yeah, we might catch you in a bit.
Yep.
Have a good one. Stay safe. Bye.